I've not seen a horse like that in a long time travel and put the race to bed in the matter of a few strides.
Okay, I mean, generally speaking, sprinters are worse than milers. Sprinters are the worst division in terms of talent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a different one wins all the time.
And it's crazy. Like we spend all our time trying to breed fast horses, and we're rubbish at breeding sprinters. Just stick to what you're good at, guys.
You go each way, Desert Hero now.
Oh, yes. You've just got there. You just put me to the post.
His run at Sandown was
You'd love
incredible.
to have a sit on him, wouldn't you?
I'd love that.
Really? Why is that then?
The King and the Queen,
And he needs a bit of. I think he needs a bit of finesse as well.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Inside Track, brought to you by William Hill, where we preview Royal Ascot. My name is Kate Tracey. I'm going to be steering this preview ship. Now, alongside me are two familiar faces, of course, William Hill ambassadors, Nick Luck and Sir A.P. McCoy. But new to the party, though, welcoming in ex-jockey turned pundit Louis Steward. So, Louis, great to have you with us. Now, lads, we're going to kick straight on, though, with the first day. But before that, we have an offer for you because William Hill are offering a top price guarantee on the first race of every day at Royal Ascot. Make sure to utilise that. So, lads, we're on to the King Charles III Stakes, of course, previously known as the King's Stand. The Group 1 over 5 furlongs for the 3-year-olds and over. So, super sprinters to the fore, Nick. Who's the fastest of the fast?
The fastest of the fast might be Big Evs, I suppose, judged on what he did last year. Was I blown away by his comeback at York? Not really. I think he'll have to move forward from that, and the price is there. The market's found him pretty well. I thought Believing was very impressive at Haydock.
Very.
And I didn't see anything wrong with that. She gets the sex allowance. But to be fair, George Bowe's been saying all year, she's a proper one now. It didn't work out in Hong Kong. Yeah, you can forgive any sprinter a bad run in Hong Kong. We've never won a race there. Over that distance, at that level. So I'm not too worried about that. But I thought the run at Haydock was excellent. And I have no reason to think she can't reproduce that. I just don't want too much rain. Just want it to stay dry for her.
And that's going to be a massive bone of contention then for everyone looking at this year's Royal Ascot, is what Nick just said then about the potential ground implications. We touched upon that in the Queen Anne. Again, we've probably got that for the King Charles III Stakes. But she's a nice price though as well. And the trainer was bullish though, George Bowe. But Louis, is Big Evs, is he the solid proposition? And as we know, what has been in the last few years for sprinting division in this country, a relatively shallow pool.
I think it's very rare for a sprinter to be as consistent as Big Evs has been. Always a worry was him training on from 2 to 3, which he has done. I guess, Nick, you can say his performance at York was not as impressive as you'd like. But I think he kind of hit a flat spot, took a breather, and then stayed on nicely towards the end. He's got to step up again, I think, as his 3-year-old campaign gets underway. Regional, for me, is the pace angle in the race. I think he's going to take them along at a good gallop. And if I was Big Evs, I would want to be tracking him for as long as I can, because I know he's going to take me to the furlong pole. So I think what I see of him at York, maybe physically not grown in height, but I think he's got a lot more bullish and filled out. And I really think what he done last year, if he can reproduce that again this year, he's going to be a very good horse again.
Yeah, again, a solid proposition, as you say, then for regional AP.
I just think Big Evs, he had everything in his favour at York, you know, in terms of, I just think that everything was in his favour at York. And he did it okay in the end, but he didn't blow me away. You know, I thought he was entitled to win at York the way he won, but I think regional is interesting. I think Callum Rodriguez, who rides him, is actually a very good rider.
Yeah.
He's improved a lot.
I think he's an improved rider. The more I watch him, you know, and I just think on the front he might get away. But it's an open race. I don't look and think, oh yeah, there's one there, you know.
No.
Sometimes that, you know, he was a very good 2-year-old Big Evs, and you know, at 3 is he going to be as good? I just thought at York, I thought he was entitled to win the way he won. He didn't blow me away.
Yeah, to be fair, he was conceding £5 to his rivals at York. In comparison to the weight concessions he's going to get here, and I'm glad he's coming here and not taking on his own age demographic in the Commonwealth Cup, because 5 is very much his distance, even over a stiff 5. But I'm pleased that he's taking on the elders in this one. And I've just been waiting for another sprinter to really put their hand up and voice themselves as a new sprinter on the block. But we don't have that. I know we've not really got the international contingent, but Asphora is going to run here, but she's no nature strip by any means. So I just think with the shallow pool we have at the minute, He is the solid one. He's priced up accordingly. But Big Evs, I don't understand why I would try and take him on in this one. So, again, bit of disagreement then in the King Charles III Stakes. Again, that sprint over the 5 furlongs. Now, one of the races of the entire week is, of course, the St. James's Palace Stakes, the Group 1 for the 3-year-olds over a mile. Now, this really is going to divide opinion, this one. So, AP, do you want to have first stab at it?
Yeah, I think Noble Speech, certainly. Thought he was really impressive in the Guineas. Thought he, I know he won in the all-weather and his fitness and all that. People may say that he had the all-weather fitness and he was harder than the rest of them. Thought he went into the dip and thought he was thought he was never going to get beat. I know Rosalian has gone on and won an Irish Guinea since, but I actually think he's a certainty.
It's quite hard to
I think
disagree
he'd nearly
with
win
that.
with me on him.
It's
well,
quite-
not quite, but
So we've got 3 certainties straight off the bat.
3:30, so
I
you're
think-
all with
there you
him.
go. Get your money on now.
I'm having Noble Speech ahead of Big Evs any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
close.
I
Yeah.
would. I
Really?
would.
Not even close?
Not even close.
No, and you were nodding along to every word of that.
What can you say? I mean, did Notable Speech have a significant advantage in the Guineas because he's had 3 runs and he had a fitness advantage? That's stretching it, isn't it? That really is stretching it. He'd never run on turf before. He looked temperamentally absolutely bomb-proof. It didn't really matter when he ended up with not much cover either. He relaxed, he settled. That's what you want the round track at Ascot as well. Be able to settle from any draw you want and then produce a rapier-like
he's got
turn of
pace.
foot. And I always thought, going into the season, I thought, that race in James's Palace is going to be made for Rosalian because he's got lightning
He's got pace,
acceleration.
yeah.
But Notable Speech just seems to have more. So
Really more, you would say? Even.
yeah, I think Notable Speech is going to win.
You think that he's a faster horse than Rosalian, would you
Well,
say?
it looks that way, and,
Yeah.
and the sectional times from his penultimate run at Kempton seem to bear that out.
And you have just agreed with everything. And you have literally had an inside track on this horse as well, the Notable Speech, and how fast he is.
Yeah, exactly. I think even if you drop back to 6 furlongs, he'd still travel like he does over a mile. I've not seen a horse like that in a long time travel and put the race to bed in the matter of a few strides. I mean, he won the Guineas with his ears pricked. Rosalian travelled into it very well, but again, maybe for me a bit workmanlike inside the final furlong. I think Notable Speech is the class horse of the race, and it's going to be the matchup of the week if they both clash heads. But I think it's just a talking point. I really do think Notable Speech is.
The other thing is if Rosalian does what he did at the Curragh and jumps out of the stalls and is super keen,
Yeah.
he's going to struggle in this race. He
Oh,
got
yeah.
away with it then. Also, you got a big wide expansion. Levy was able to get him in and get him covered. It was a brilliant ride. But this is going to be a lot harder.
It
on
might
the
go a
round
bit
track.
slower around a bend as well
Yeah.
and light him up. And
Taking back off heels, off his momentum.
yeah, just the race is probably not as smooth around the bend as it is on the straight course. So
Could be an absence of pace in this race.
Yeah.
Especially with Hartem not running.
Yeah.
Hartem's going to go to the Jersey, we think.
Do we think there could be a last-minute switcheroo with Hartem? I'm saying this in more hope than anything else. If the rain does come, Rosalian, we know that he wants as quick a surface as you can get. Is there a chance, do you think, that Rich Hannon could...
I think you've just answered your own
Yeah.
question.
Well, I was hoping I was going to be fair.
If it hammers down and Rosalian doesn't run, then but it's all to do with the owners. It's all to do with whether Wathnan want to do that.
Yes, exactly. But I guess if we're playing this race at this stage then, with our anti-post concessions then, is Hartem a good price at this current moment? If we anticipate the rain, again, this is me sort of talking through my own pocket really, is that a good price right now to take the chance that he might just get a run in this? Because at the minute he's overpriced because everyone's assuming Hartem's going to go for Jersey.
Yeah, potentially. Obviously, change of owners. You've now probably not got that avenue of him being a pacemaker to Rosalian. So you're looking at a different point of view. I think Hartem got the run of the race in the Irish Guineas. End of. He ran a blinder. He's been consistent all year. I get it, but is he that cut above that what he needs to be to win a Group 1 like that? I don't think so. But you never know. If there's a lack of pace and Hartem makes a run in and gets it smooth sailing, he could run a big race.
Oh, I really hope so. I'm just hoping so more so than anything else because I love the horse, so consistent. And the money that I'm assuming Wathnan have paid a significant amount, I dread to think.
The angle, Kate, is surely to field against him in the Jersey because they're playing him out of his natural game. He's looked a different horse at a mile this year,
Oh,
and they're
completely.
dropping him back to 7 and thinking it's a penalty kick. Likelihood is there'll be an improver or two in there, and he'll be a short price favourite. So actually, if you want to play Hartem, you should be disloyal loyal to him and play against him in the Jersey.
And play against him, yeah. I'm trying to use my reverse psychology now for this, but I think that Jersey could be spicier than we were initially anticipating. So hopefully that will lure them back into putting Hartum back into the St. James's Palace. But you are all very, very keen then on Notable Speech. I don't want to go against the crowd on this one, but I'm hoping that Hartum will get
a lot of working there for a very quick answer. Notable Speech is the winner.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Well summarised then by Nick. And that is our look ahead to Tuesday, the first day of Royal Ascot. Let us know in the comment section below who you fancy for any of those feature races. Okay, guys, we're on to the Wednesday now. Again, looking ahead to some of the feature races here. But before that, a reminder that William Hill are offering a top price guarantee on the first race of every day of Royal Ascot. But we're going to skip over that and we're going to skip on to the 3:45. Now, this is the Group 2 Duke of Cambridge Stakes for the fillies and mares, 4 years and over a mile. Now, this is a really tricky race, Louis, to weigh up, especially when you've got Laurel at the head of it. Haven't seen for a long time, and a piece of work that we saw, well, that a few people saw, was not exactly inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, Laurel's got a lot to prove. If she comes here and runs, it's going to be a big ask. She last was seen winning at Kempton. Ryan rode her that day and then kind of flopped when she ran the time after that. I mean, for me, I would look for someone that's probably got a bit of course form in Rogue Millennium. She was probably looked at as a mile and a half filly, really, in her early stage of her career, but since dropping back in trip, I think she's done nothing wrong. Softer ground would suit. I'd like to see a bit of softer ground for her, but if it doesn't come, I think she's definitely got the class to hold her own here and run a big race.
Yeah, for the price tag as well, then that actually costs. You'd be hoping for some sort of return on that then in due course. But again, AP, we talk about Laurel at the head of it. If anyone saw that piece of work, I know she was against 2 Group 1 horses, but she was tailing off after a furlong. It was Constitution Hill at Kempton S, so it's tricky to weigh up these fillies sometimes.
It is, definitely, but I like Rogue Millennium. She was a bit unlucky last time, first run for Joseph O'Brien. Got form at Ascot. I think she ticks all the boxes. Breege, I thought was tough winning it. Epsom still got it well, but I think Rogue Millennium might be a little bit class above the rest.
Getting a bit of agreement then, Nick. Are you going to join them again?
Well, it could end up being a slightly thin race. And I was with Rogue Millennium at this meeting last year when she was dropping back to them after the first time, and she did me a huge favour and dug me out of a massive hole. But obviously she's a third of the price this time, quarter of the price or whatever, a new trainer, new year, different deal. The filly that AP just mentioned, Breege, I thought was quite interesting. The bookmakers took virtually no interest in Breege after she won the Group 3 at Epsom, sort of saying, well, she was lucky, everything else was unlucky, everything else getting in each other's way. I didn't think she handled the track brilliant, and she still won. And when they did come to her, she kind of half went away again. She's got form at Ascot. She was only just pipped, a bit unlucky in the Sandringham last year, didn't get the best of runs through. I think she should have won that. Now she's got her head in front. I think she can start delivering the promise. The stable have always thought she was good, like really good. She's got a Group 3 now. I don't think it's a massive bridge to see her getting competitive in a Group 2, and the market doesn't really like her. I like her a bit more than
I think the less testing track as well will help her a bit. I think towards the end of the race at Epsom, she was coming towards the end of her tether, and was it Cheek Columbine that was in behind? Unlucky loser, but
lots of unlucky.
I thought the track would suit her at Epsom, and I don't think it did very well.
Yeah,
she's got lots of form at Ascot, and
I thought she was hanging. I thought she was sticking her head out all right at Epsom. I thought she was.
Yeah.
But I do think that the other filly just might be a little bit more classy than a lot of them.
Have that extra class, especially because
having that run at the Curragh
just needs pace. Just needs pace, Rogue Millennium, and that's what she got last. She got loads of pace to run.
It'll be easier to ride her that way if there's loads of pace.
So she doesn't get stuck on the inside rail again, which she definitely got in the Lambwade Stud Stakes then last time out, and didn't get that gap at all. I thought she was a good thing for
Danny Tudhope was brilliant on her last year. He was made for her.
He really was, completely. And I found that form. I find both of your pieces of form, actually, Breege's and Rogue Millennium's, difficult to weigh up, because Breege, I mean, the amount of unlucky horses in behind, I can see why the traders haven't really reacted to that, because most people weren't even talking about the winner. They were talking about Cheek Columbine, they were talking about Royal Dress in behind, all of your eye catchers rather than your winner. But again, I guess if you're taking the approach that she was a deserved winner anyway, that price is even better for you.
It's not going to take much winning this.
No, it's really not. But are we giving credit then to the horse that actually beat both your selection, Rogue Millennium, then last time out Ocean Jewel, who is a fair bit bigger a price? I'm assuming she's going here. It's the only entry she's got. You'd imagine so, because I know that Rogue Millennium was unlucky, didn't get that gap, was trapped on the inside rail. But at the same time, Ocean Jewel, I think that she was a deserved winner of that. I mean, she was unlucky in the Matron big price, her last run of last season, very unlucky, but I thought she was worthy of that. But again, the market's not reacted to her at all. I
think Rogue Millennium got absolutely murdered in a crucial part of the race that day. I mean, she'll improve from the run, no doubt. I can't see by her. When you look at the winner of the race and her, I think the best horse finished third.
Oh, okay then. I'm going to give credit to the winner. I'm going to hope that form is upheld in Ocean Jewel, but you're both with Rogue Millennium. And then Briege at a decent price then for Nick as well. But again, a wide open contest that we have for the Duke of Cambridge Stakes. Now, a race that might not be as wide open, but we're not entirely sure of the full complexion of it yet. We know what we're hoping for in the Group 1 at Prince of Wales' Stakes. 4-year-olds and over the 10 furlongs. This comes up at 4:25 on the Wednesday. Now, August Rodin, did he or did he not give his running last time out, Nick? Because it was kind of a bit of an anomaly for August Rodin to actually finish in a place.
Yeah, I think he gave his running. Is he capable of better still? Yes. Was it a fluke that White Birch beat him? No. Mm-hmm. Should White Birch be favourite to beat him again over a mile and a quarter? Yes, and he's not. So therefore, White Birch has to be the play. I think August Rodin is still a cracking horse. For me, he's mile and a half on fast ground.
I think ground is a big thing in this race.
You say galloper?
I said you'd geld him.
Geld him.
Yeah, honestly.
What a deep impact. Sure. Anyway.
I think ground. Give him to me as a stallion, I'm sure I could find a job for him.
I think ground is a big factor in this race.
Fast ground, mile and a half, doesn't he want?
Yeah, but like it was yielding enough at the Curragh last time when White Birch won. I think more so for White Birch. I think the ground is a factor.
That might be the case. I think as long as it's not firm or like Ascot quick, I'd fancy White Birch to confirm that.
I think White Birch is showing a lot more gears though this year than he ever has done. He was looked at as a slow horse last year, I thought.
Yeah, they wanted to make him into a mile and a half horse. They were determined he was going to be a mile and a half. I don't think he is.
I have just this thing with them O'Brien horses, just know what they're going to do. In terms of like, as the year goes on, and I know he ran...
They'll keep getting better.
They keep getting better, you know, and you wouldn't know...
I can see him going to the King George on a nice hot summer's day if we ever get one.
Yeah.
And him just exploding.
Not do what he done last year.
And winning, and not doing what he done. Exactly. Not. I mean, we know there's a hole in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you're working on the basis that he shows his form, somewhere at a mile and a half, Group 1, fast ground, he'd just win by daylight.
By absolute daylight. But I mean, AP, when you've got a horse like August Rodin, who is such an OXO pattern of a horse, that's why I say he's normally my back and place lay type of a horse, which is why it absolutely scuppered me last time out. It's hard to, what do you do with a horse like that?
I don't know how he won a Champion Stakes in Leopardstown. I know they got it very tactically right in Leopardstown, but in terms of, you think of what he's achieved, and White Birch definitely was really impressed at the Curragh last time, and maybe I'm reading into the fact that the ground would have suited him more than Augusta Rodin, especially at the time of the year, and I know he'd ran in Maidan, whatever.
If we talk about White Birch and the fact that they've got his head in the right place basically this season, but Curragh form to translate, and again we talk about horses for courses all the time, it's probably a disservice to call a horse for a course at this level, because that ability isn't just attributed to one course. But White Birch, to be able to translate it to Ascot, do you have any sort of concerns about that?
Not really. I guess maybe going around the bend is a slightly tighter track to deal with, but like I mentioned earlier, I think he's just got a bit more gears inside the last couple of furlongs this year than what I ever have seen him have before. So it's like I just looked at him as a slow stayer last year. Now he looks like a proper 10, 12 furlong horse. I was impressed with him. And like you say, it wasn't a fluke. He beat August Rodin last time. But like AP said, I think that the ground probably will help him if it's slower.
Yeah, I'd say so. But even in the Derby last year, that was quick ground. And he ran fine in that, considering the luckless run he had through. Was he third in the Derby last year? That was still on pretty quick ground. So I don't think he's quite as pigeonholed ground-wise as we anticipate. Again, I'm hoping so, because I'm with White Birch.
I just think he may be more effective on it than Augusta Rodin, but that's all.
That's very true, more effective. But with the rains forecast and the showers forecast, well, I mean, ideal then for him. So White Birch, though, again, I'm going to be with, because I agree. I think August Rodin did give his running last time out. But Louis, in terms of a selection,
Yeah, I'm White Birch.
Oh, well done. AP.
I'm going to go to Rodan.
Oh, okay then. But forgiveness is a theme of yours in this Royal Ascot preview.
Just maybe I'm too into the trainer too much.
Always good, always good
enough.
to forgive. I get where AP's coming from, but the time told you that White Birch did it on merit last time. So at the prices, it has to be White Birch.
Okay then, right. White Birch for the three of us. AP then forgiveness with August Rodan. Do let us know who you fancy for the Wednesday of Royal Ascot in the comments section below. Okay, we're moving on to the Thursday now of Royal Ascot, but before we get into our previews, a reminder that William Hill, our top price guarantee on the first race of every day of Royal Ascot. Right, lads, on to the Thursday with the Group 2 Ribblesdale Stakes, 3-year-old fillies over a mile 4. Nick, this is pretty wide open.
It is, but I think there might be one hiding in plain sight in here, and the trainers, clue there, have got a few in here, but the Friendly Soul for the Gosdens. Forgive one bad run, and the run was abject in the Musadora, but she had a wide draw. She just grabbed hold. She was too keen, and Kieran Schumer, presumably on instruction, had tried to do that thing, the Frankie thing of going wide and staying away from the others, and it just didn't really work. If I don't know what Rafe Beckett's going to run in this race, but if he did want to, I presume he's going to run Classical Song because she didn't run in the Oaks. But if he does run any of his horses that finish down the field in the Oaks, if he ran You Got to Me, I'd be half interested because I think I probably have a more positive view of the Oaks than Louis does. I thought the time was good. I think the winner's really smart. I think she could run well in the arc. I thought You Got to Me did really well considering how hard she was ridden up with the pace. And just in a slightly gentler race, I think she's still got quite an interesting profile.
Oh yeah, she completely confirmed her Lingfield form there, no end I would say. But I like the filly that finished actually behind her at Lingfield in that Oaks trial was Danielle, who was all at sea on that ground. Now again, you do have to caveat this with you do not want the ground to be too quick for her because she ran a blinder considering she was hating every second of that race. Ground was way too quick for her. I don't think she handled the track. Ascot should see her in a lot better light, and from what she had shown previously, I thought that she was still a filly with an immense amount of upside. I just hope that she's going to be given that extra few points on top of her price to forgive that run last time out. But again, she's waited that bit more. Hopefully she's going to get the run here and can take advantage of that bit more.
She a half sister to Courage Mon Ami as well. I do quite like, relatives who have had form on the track.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very much that that family. Yes, she is very closely related to Courage Mon Ami. Good call. So yeah, hopefully then the family honour can be restored with Danielle. But that is a look ahead then to the Ribblesdale Stakes. Now, of course, the big one itself is the Group 1 Gold Cup. 4-year-olds and over 2 mile 4. So the stayers to the 4, the characters to the 4. And believe it or not, we actually have a very short price favourite. It feels odd for that for Royal Ascot in comparison to what we get with our Cheltenham preview nights, Cheltenham Festival preview nights. But Kyprios OAP, very much of a horse to beat, but he's not exactly the most straightforward customer.
No, I mean, obviously he looked a really good horse, got injured, had a bit of time off, and you have to think, I wonder mentally is he as strong as he was. I think on Champions Day he looked like he was on and off the bridle, and probably got after him a little early, and he got racing a bit into the straight and ended up in front, and then kind of, he's not an easy ride. And I mean, he'd be an easier ride the faster they go and the more of a test of stamina it becomes, because I think he's obviously going to be better running at horses late. So for the price he's not like he was when he won a Gold Cup before. I don't think he's that straightforward. Pace will be everything in the race. Vauban, very good horse. Did he need to run a little bit in York? Hard to say that, but one of Willie Munns's. But he may have been training him for a Gold Cup. I actually like Point Lonsdale. I thought for a 5-year-old, I actually thought he was really impressive in Chester. I know it's going around a tight track, but it was the first time he stepped up to that mile and 5, and he looked like it's there.
Yeah, he looked like
20. He's 20 to 1. I'm not. I just think as 20 to 1 shots go, he's stepping up nearly a mile and trip. You never know.
Yeah, you just hope he's not going to be used. You hope that he's going to be, able to back that up.
He just keeps galloping.
Yeah.
You can throw anything at him.
Yeah, I think, and he's hard. And he's hard. He's hard. He's got loads of racing experience, but never at this kind of trip. So
no, but
I don't know.
He needed, he looked like a sayer, didn't he? His first go over the extended mile 5 last night, it looked like he had been needing that for the longest time on the way that he went through that race. So yeah, 20 to 1 shot then for AP. But if you were saying there, Nick, about the slight quirkiness, maybe probably a bit harsh about Kyprios because his record and his career speaks for itself. But he's not easy.
I don't think it's harsh. I mean, That horse ran so hard through his season 2 seasons ago, and you saw what he did at Longchamp in the Cadran, and nearly got into the crowd and still won by 30 lengths in a bog. Now that's going to leave its mark on any horse, even if you're trained by Aidan O'Brien, and even if you're as hard as nails. So to even come back and do what he's done is pretty impressive. And if he's got him back to win a Gold Cup, great. But at the prices, what's wrong with Trawlerman, who beat Kyprios in the Champions Day long distance race? Third in Dubai, when he had a terrible draw and the ground was firm. If it's not, I don't think it's going to be firm. Just nice, good ground will be fine for him. I can see him running a bold race.
Stay though, isn't he?
He's got to stay, yeah. But I mean, I don't see that being a massive issue. He stays 2 miles well. He's bred to stay really well. I think he can go well.
Vauban?
Yeah, I could see that.
Is he going to stay? If he still does enough wrong.
I could see Vauban. Willie gets them to stay.
Yeah, it's true, actually. That is
Vauban. You could argue 9 to 1's a big price about Vauban.
Yeah.
What about Coltrane? He's got a soft spot in everyone's heart. I think
he's a solid proposition. Again,
There's always
something good enough to beat Coltrane, though, isn't there?
I'm with you. I think it's just a good Group 2 horse that'll.
But he always turns up, doesn't he? He's always there in the firing line.
Always turns up.
Yeah, and you look about his Ascot record, so I noted this down. Obviously, he won the Ascot Stakes Heritage Handicap in 2022, second in the long distance cup behind Trusham the same season, first in the Sagaro Stakes in 2023, second in this race last year behind Courage Mon Ami, only beaten 3/4 of a length, and he won last time out again at Ascot in the Sagaro Stakes again. So is he not just a solid each way horse?
Oh yeah, massively. Like, fitness is on his side. He stays the trip. Like you say, he's won the Ascot Stakes, which is over the same distance, and it's hard to look by him, but I just think, like we've all said, there's always going to be something.
And if you don't mention Keys Chorister, then Clive.
That's very
and that is not something I ever
And she's
want.
not a million, because again, she's like Trawlerman. She's by Golden Horn. She'll just keep galloping. She's got track form. She gets the sex allowance.
Yeah.
I could see her getting in the frame.
The absolute scenes from Clive Washbourne post-race as well, and Davin Milite.
Goodness knows.
It would be unbelievable. That's what the Gold Cup needs.
And presumably, the Queen or the King and the Queen will presumably present.
Oh, I hope so.
Trophy, will they?
Yes. And to Clive then going at
this could be delicious.
Yeah, I'm going to manifest that this is going to happen then for Keys Chorister.
Yeah.
Forget everything I said about Coltrane for the each way play. I'm all in on Keys Chorister now, just for the scenes post race. But AP, you're happy to appoint Lonsdale though.
Yeah, I think a 20 to 1 stepping up that trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Because look, Kyprios and that, he's obviously a good horse and that, but I just think at 20 to 1, I think he could run a big race.
Yeah, I think we all are in agreement that Kyprios is the talented horse and obviously the one to beat, but probably priced up accordingly though, Nick.
Good race, isn't it?
Very, very good race though. But that is a look ahead then to the Thursday, and of course the Gold Cup that is going to divide opinion no end. Let us know who you fancy in the comment section below. Now we're moving on to the Friday of Royal Ascot, but a reminder that William Hill, our top price guarantee on the first race of every day of Royal Ascot. Now we're going to begin with the 305 though, the Group 1 Commonwealth Cup, no geldings, 3-year-olds over 6 furlongs. Forever one of my favourite races, Louis. Then I know it's slightly under threat then for that Group 1 status, but it's just a race that I hone in on. But again, forgiveness has been the theme of this. Do we forgive Van Dijk?
I might shoot myself in the foot here, but I cannot have him. I think it was a below par performance at Haydock. He showed me nothing to say that he'd even improve on what he'd done. I think the horses he was beating as a 2-year-old are probably milers to 10 furlong horses, so he probably showed a bit more speed than what they had as in that age category. I know his work's been good at home. At any stage of that Haydock race, did he look like he was going to pick up? Not even for half a furlong did he go forward. He was on the spot for the whole race and just fell into a heap. Like, I could be being too harsh because he has been a good 2-year-old, but I can't see him turning the tables and reproducing what his 2-year-old form was.
That forgiveness is well out the window now. We've shelved that nicety for now. So who do you like instead?
I think Elite Status has a good chance. I remember when he won at Sandown, they raved about him as a 2-year-old. Very big 2-year-old. He was huge. And I think it's just took him a bit of time to develop into the frame he is now. Looks bigger and stronger. His Newbury one was very impressive, albeit lower grade. But I think he couldn't do no wrong there. And he looked good at the line. I thought he skipped away and was impressive.
Pulling no punches whatsoever then on Van Dijk and Elite Status. Again, Nick, forgiveness, is that going to transpire to the Commonwealth Cup?
No, I've stopped I've stopped forgiving at this point.
goodness.
I'm with Louis with Van Dijk. I can see him moving forward. I think if it was an ordinary Commonwealth Cup, he might get away with it, but it's not. I think the two Sheikh Mohammed Obeid horses are very, very good. Agree with what Louis said about elite status, but I'd be disappointed if Inisherin doesn't win this.
Oh, Inisherin then.
He was really, really good last time. He's bred to be a very good horse. He's from that Ream 3 family. He's effectively a cousin, if you like, though we don't say that in racing parlance, to Rosalian. He's got a temperament to die for. He's got bags of speed. He's bred to be a proper horse, and he is. And I think he'll just outclass these.
Am I right in saying he still
Stiff
needs
six.
to be supplemented?
Yes, and
for
he's
this?
gonna
He still needs to be supplemented.
Stiff 6 furlongs as well. I think that's where he'll have the edge over elite status. I think elite status might be like a real whiz-bang sprinter, but Inisherin might have a bit more class.
Yeah, potentially. Well, elite status got to prove it at that level.
I think it's going to be
it's
going to be an Obeid exactor. I think.
I'll be buzzing with that, wouldn't he? 1-2.
Love that.
I was going to say that wouldn't be bad at all. But Van Dijk is the one who's splitting the pair of those Sheikh
Trainers
Obeid.
will get to keep the horses for another season.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also very true.
He's not holding back, is he?
No, not one bit. Not one bit. So then, both for the yellow and black spots for these two, but with differences of opinion.
I'm probably with Nick with Inisherin. Thought he was really impressive last time. He's a good horse. I thought the horse Buccaneer Fanatic had I thought he looked. He got tired a little bit at Naas, but he won a Phoenix as a 2-year-old. 8-1. I think he could run well. I think he looked like he did. Well, I'm kind of thinking he looked like he got tired at Naas last time, so he might come on again a bit for it. But I like Inisherin.
Okay, then Inisherin as well. So a pair of agreements over that side, and hopefully, we're assuming he is going to run here, aren't we? Like we're assuming he's going to get his supplementary entry then, and he is going to go for it.
I spoke to Kevin Ryan yesterday, and he was very much of the view that he was going to supplement.
Oh, fantastic. And fair play to the owner then as well, considering he already has a right chance in it with your selection elite status. It goes against everything that I normally do in terms of betting and tipping selections-wise with Van Dijk, because I'm quite ruthless when it comes to a poor run. It's bitten me in the backside a few times with August Rodin and then City of Troy in the Derby, I openly admit. But Van Dijk, though... But it's almost one of those things where City of Troy, you could at least say in the 2,000 guineas, it was too bad to be true from an early stage. Van Dijk, it wasn't too bad to be true. But like I say, he never at any point looked like winning. I knew the writing was on the wall from a long way out. But from what we've seen throughout this season, 3-year-old debutants and the step forward they've taken.
Okay, generally speaking, sprinters are worse than milers. Mm-hmm. Sprinters are the worst division in terms of talent.
Yeah.
Yes,
and a different one wins all the time.
And it's crazy. Like we spend all our time trying to breed fast horses, and we're rubbish at breeding sprinters. Just stick to what you're good at, guys, and you might. Anyway, that's a whole sideshow. But he's bossing just an okay group of horses, Van Dijk, last year. I think if you didn't have Inisherin and elite status, it would be the same again. Could he boss an okay group of horses? He probably could. He could probably win this. 7 out of 10 Commonwealth Cups. Not that they've even been 10 yet, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Like
they might have been. Have there been 10 yet? I don't know.
God, that's a good
question.
Not
that many,
itself.
anyway.
No. But yeah, in a normal year then, but like I said, this does seem to have that bit more strength and depth to it. I guess the other thing with Van Dijk is that a lot of people using the excuse of a softer ground at Haydock. The question that he was having to answer towards the back end of last year was how is he going to cope with quicker ground? Is he not a softer ground specialist? So that's something I don't really buy into either then. But at least there's some ground versatility to him. I'm willing to forgive him from everything that we saw of him last year, but I completely respect everything that you've said. But you are all then in the Sheikh Obeid colours then, but with differing opinions between Inisherin and elite status. It's going to be a cracking contest, isn't it? The Commonwealth Cup, regardless of what happens. And again, let us know who you fancy for the race. Right, another Group 1 coming at us at 3:45. This is a Coronation Stakes for the fillies, aged 3 years, over a mile. Now, lots of these horses that we were talking about earlier on, sort of splitting the difference between the mile 4 contest and then the mile. But Opera Singer, though, it is for Aidan O'Brien, who has been the subject of plenty of market support in the build-up, AP. So, Opera Singer, we know that you have been the Ballydoyle fanboy throughout this preview so far.
Stick again.
Care to continue it?
Yeah. Fallen Angel, when she looked impressive in the chorus, so she did, and looked a very good fit. It's actually a very good race, isn't it, with the English Guineas winner looking like she's going to run there as well. Just sometimes I think about it too much with Aidan O'Brien, but I think the horses improve, especially fillies. You can get them to improve with each run, and she looked at the Cora like she was nursed a little bit.
Yeah.
It looked like, there was never any stage that she was going to get to the English Guineas. Like that was ruled out very early. And it looked like I'll get her to run the English Guineas, or get her to run the Irish Guineas, and I'll have her ready for Coronation Cup and progress after that. Visually, hard not to be impressed with Fallen Angel, but I do think you'll see a completely different filly in Opera Singer. She was a brilliant 2-year-old as well, so she won the race on
Prix Marcel Boussac.
Marcel
Very
Boussac.
impressive.
Very impressive.
Very, very impressive. And I feel that that's what Aidan O'Brien, without sort of in so many words, was saying about Opera Singer as well, that he just had to run her there to tee her up for Ascot. And he was not confident how fit she was whatsoever. I think he was delighted.
It was more the early season that she ain't getting to the Guineas, like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Like whatever setback she had.
So if you factor that in, she's run a blinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as a 2-year-old goes, she was as good impressive a 2-year-old winner of the Marcel Boussac, wasn't she? She was, so,
It's interesting because he's trained a number of members of the family who've shown all their best form at 2. And I'm wondering whether that was half going through his mind as to how to train her as a 3-year-old and just left her a little bit later. I know she had the hold up in the spring, but I'm kind of, it's boring, but I'm with you here. Of all the
it just looked like it though.
yeah,
the Cora, didn't it?
of all the older horses, not older horses, but of all the non-2-year-olds that Aidan O'Brien runs during Ascot Week, this is the one I would fancy the most.
Okay, this is the one. And reasons as
Well,
why you say.
well, for all the reasons AP said. Secondly, I think she'll be really suited by going around a bend. And that little bit of test of speed. If the ground is a bit drier, who knows what it's going to be, but if it's a bit drier, I think that's going to help her, like it was in Longchamp. And also, Fallen Angel, I'd have gone the Prix de Diane with her. Yes. She looks to me like a staying miler now. So, and the pedigree suggests she's a staying miler too. I think Opera Singer's just got a cracking chance.
That bit more speed, the touch of class.
Bit more boot.
Yeah, and the step forwards then, which again has been a theme that we've seen from so many Ballydoyle horses this year, Louis. So the lads are keen on Opera Singer.
We're not even mentioning the Guineas winner.
Yeah, I was just
No, exactly, yeah. Good old Malcolm being chucked in there. Surely she gets the run.
I mean, her work sounded very lacklustre before she won the Guineas. I mean, it seemed a surprise to everyone.
Not some of us, can I just say, just to toot my own horn there. But anyway.
You're a millionaire now, then, eh?
I'm still working, aren't I? I'm still here working, chatting to you
tell me that
guys.
one.
It's not for the love of it, let me tell you that.
I don't know if you know, but Leona tipped Cider Burley for the stakes.
This is my side of early. I will absolutely squeeze this lemon dry for success.
Embedded.
I am completely embedded in it. Yeah, exactly. Made sure. Well, if you read my columns, then you would have realised that as well. Thanks for tuning in all the same. But again, a bit of disagreement there all the same about the Coronation Stakes. Do let us know who you fancy for the contest in the comments section below. That was a look ahead to some of the feature races on the Friday of Royal Ascot. On to the Saturday now of Royal Ascot. Now, again, before we get stuck into our preview, a reminder that William Hill, a top price guarantee on the first race of every day of Royal Ascot. Now, again, we're going to skip that first race, so I'm going to move on to the 305, the Group 2 Hardwicke Stakes, 4-year-olds and over a mile for. Loads of characters in here, AP, we know an awful lot about. Continuous, though, reappearance start, Ballydoyle.
Yeah, hasn't ran since the Arc, but he ran well. I mean, he looked like a horse that would want further, but you'd have to say that his run in the Arc is maybe the best piece of form. I mean, Emily Upjohn, there's question marks about her. Middle Earth was good last time. Rebels Romance probably going to go to America, I think Lou was saying. Luxembourg. Hamish, I thought, ran well in the race at Epsom. I think he's a solid horse. Maybe you could run well at a price for what looks a very open race. But, I mean, the standout form looks like Continuous's Arc run. Yeah, it looks like he always looked like a horse that might won further after he had won a Ledger, but you'd have to say his art run was very good. So
you would chance that he would be ready for this on the back of 265 days?
Yeah, I mean, I think Hamish could run well at a big price in a strongly run race, but
I'm in agreement with Hamish though for the each way play.
I thought the race wasn't really under suit.
You better pray for the rain if you fancy.
Yeah,
I know that's the only thing.
And obviously Ryan nicked however much. 300 grand under everyone's noses in Epsom. You know what I mean? It's like daylight robbery, wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
It actually was. I was like, it was beautiful.
But nobody could do anything about it either.
Not really.
That's the other thing.
No. Exactly.
He won't be able to reproduce that ride though if he runs in this race.
No.
You're clued up to it now. Quick thought got away with it how many times?
Yeah,
but
I'd imagine, I don't know where Luxembourg's going to go, but I'd imagine if continuous runs, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Who knows?
No, but Hamish is surely, like I say, if you're praying for the rain, where the showers this far out are forecast throughout the week, the scatter of showers. But I know he's an 8-year-old now. But
I don't think Hamish will win, by the way. I just think he could run well at a price ridden.
Yeah.
I think he could run well at a price running well in an open run race. I don't think he's enough class to win.
No.
You know, if you were, deciding which horse you want to ride in Hardwicke, you'd say continuous all day long. You know what I mean? It's not even close. But
you wouldn't say Hamish.
You'd go each way Desert Hero now, just for a bit of
really?
You've just got there. You just put me to the post.
His run at Sandown was
You'd love
incredible.
to have a sit on him, wouldn't you, Luke?
I'd love that.
Really? Why? Why is that then?
The King and the Queen and
he needs a bit of. I think he needs a bit of finesse as well.
Yeah,
I think he's a finesse horse.
Very much so.
Just
not to reminisce in the past, Luke, Nick, but I actually used to ride out Top Honora, and he got disqualified in the Hardwicke Stakes. Rock Hopper, Sir Michael Stone's horse, from like married to him, got in the Steward 1991
How old
or
were
something.
you when you were riding
I think it
Top
was
Honora?
1991 or 1991. He used to ride him out a bit, yeah.
Hang on, was this at Bulgers?
Yeah. Long time ago.
Good horse.
Anyway, just thinking about the King and the Queen.
Bit of nostalgia.
Yeah,
There you go.
Long time ago, but anyway, Desert Hero for you, yeah.
Desert Hero, but not just because
Sentimental reason.
running in the Royal colours. No,
Just a reminiscence.
I think there's some solid reasons for thinking this horse is
Yeah.
wrong, and it's been completely forgotten about because he ran horribly last time.
yeah.
A lot of people are not very forgiving of that, me included.
Oh, he ran horribly, but he ran great the first time. They might have just backed him up
Over
a
the
bit
wrong
quick.
trip.
A mile and a quarter, Sandown, behind a good horse, looked like he was going to win half the straight, and then needed it. William Haggis's horses have been a little bit in and out in that interim period. Few of them a bit sick and that. I think now running a little bit better, a bit more consistently. They've trained him for this race. This is the race they've always wanted all along. And I don't think there's actually that much depth between Continuous and him. And actually, if you look at where they finished relative to each other in St. Ledger, didn't think it was a bad run from Desert Hero. I think a mile and a half should equalise the two horses slightly.
Equalise and bring them. And I guess there is
That's
the argument you could say for Desert Hero. I know we've only got the we've only got the evidence of 2 runs at Newbury. And Newbury isn't exactly an idiosyncratic track. You could say he doesn't like Newbury. He's run there twice. 4-1 favourite in the London Gold Cup last year, disappointed. Last time out, even money favourite, disappointed at Newbury.
The ground can be a bit puddingy there nowadays on the flat.
Some horses like going right-handed, favour one lead.
William Haggis has said that actually. He said that he thinks that he is a better horse right-handed. Whether or not that's clutching straws, I don't know.
No, I believe in that. I don't know if you do, AP, but I think horses do favour one leg up the straight. And if you're on their stronger one, you get a bit more out of them.
What about Emily Upjohn? Are we
my left-handed backhand isn't much.
Is it not? So left-hand drive.
You're not ambidextrous, no.
I mean, there's one or two things I can do.
Not like Ronnie O'Sullivan, no.
But not that.
Keep that to yourself, Nick.
I was saying we know where to target now. We're on our serves.
We're Emily Upjohn, not.
So I don't think he had any choice in the Coronation Cup but to sit on Ryan's girth, because otherwise he'd have been slagged off for sitting out of his ground. But it didn't suit her. So she gets a proper race and a proper pace. But the trouble is, Ascot's not exactly been a happy hunting ground for her, has it?
No, exactly. Another one to disappoint then at Ascot as well. When we talk about horses for courses, I just don't know. Like say again, you can be forgiving of those 2 starts of season and how the race transpired last time out. But at this point, I think I'd like to see it from Emily Upjohn though. But Desert Hero though, Lou, you are keen on him. Yeah,
I just like him. I like him as a horse. I think he's improving with age. Like me and Nick said, I don't think. It was a lacklustre run last time. I can put a line through it from what I see of him at Sandown. Very good performance over the wrong trip. Looked like the winner that day and just got nodded on the line. But I think back at this track where he's already won is going to suit him. And I think he's a better horse going right-handed. So I'm hoping for the Royal Colours he can get the job done.
Oh, how romantic of the pair of you and Nick then for the Royal Colours at Royal Ascot. The Ballydoyle fanboy over there does like continuous bet time with Hamish.
He'll run well when he continues. He'll run well.
He will do. Well, hopefully so anyway. But we must move on though to the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee Stakes. Group 1, 4-year-olds and over 6 furlongs, comes up at 3:45. Now we talk about the sprinting division being wide open. Well, is that not reflected in its purest form in this race, Nick? Because this is wide open. Dear old Kim Ross is the one who has still been heading the way in the most part in the anti-post markets over the 6 furlongs.
Not for me, first time out if the ground's better than good to soft. I mean, I don't think he needs soft ground, but he's not getting any more robust or any better as time goes on. And I think he's likely to just need it a little bit. They'll have their eye on something towards the end of the year. So I'd be looking elsewhere here. The two that I quite like are Shartash and Mitbahi, I think. Shartash is on the up. I know another Wathnan purchase.
He's another purchase, another
in good
expensive
form.
purchase.
Archie Watson can keep just squeezing these sprinters. Mitbahi I thought was really good in Ireland. Stiff six will suit him really well.
Yes.
And he likes a pace to run at. So they'd be the two I'd like.
And he's proven himself over a stiff 6 furlongs now. That's what he proved last time out. And like you say, of all the sprinting form that we have on offer in this, I thought that was the strongest piece of form to be following in there with Mitbahi. And at the prices, he just represents the value then for me. And you can mark him up because he missed the break as well in that. And the ground that he still had to make up was super, super likeable. So yeah, I'm also with Mitbahi now that he's proven himself over a stiff 6 furlongs against Kinross for very similar reasons. He just needs his first time out. And we know he's a burly character at the best of times. 7-year-old now, expecting him to do the same. But Millstream in here, again, that York form, I know it was Group 2, but Louis, does he still need to take the step up now into this Group 1 to be able to back that up?
Yeah, massively. I thought he got a nice run through at York. William produced him perfectly on the line, and maybe you could say everything fell right for him that day. He's got to step up at this level. A horse for me would be Art Power.
Oh.
I know he's not his lovable Curragh track, but he has got some form at Ascot.
Oh, he won the champion sprint, didn't he?
He won the champion sprint. Obviously, softer ground again is going to help him. I just like him. I think he's a gutsy horse, wears his heart on his sleeve, and more likely or not, he's going to give you his running. Obviously, his running style from the front can be dangerous at Ascot, like you say. You can get closers, and Spencer on Mitbahi could come and swallow them all up. But I do like him as a horse, and he's very genuine.
But that Greenland Stakes form then for the pair of those two, like say Art Power, who was beaten by Mitbahi in that. So I just think that that's the best form that we have on offer in this. But AP, I'm trying to find the Aidan O'Brien horse.
No, it's up Fables things in it for him. But I think you could run this race 5 times in 5 different horsemen.
Yeah.
Look at Kadim winning last year 80-1 or something. You know what I mean? He's running again. Mitbahi probably would be the horse you'd probably pick.
Well, Washington Heights is a horse I love, but I think he's running in the wrong race.
Heights.
I think he should be in the King Charles.
Art Power was good in Champions Day, but honestly, you could run it 5 times in 5 different horses to win. I think it's different with the older sprinters. You very, very rarely see one dominating all the way through the year and winning all the sprints, do you?
Do you like seeing Kinross over 6 furlongs first time out, or would you rather it be 7?
No, I quite like him first time out, but if you're trying to build a season, I think.
Fresh and
listen, if this race really isn't up to much, he could just fall in, couldn't he?
Yeah.
I just worry if Rafe probably has to be a bit tentative with him at home now and kind of nurse him along and make sure he's happy, because I think he's probably a bit long in the tooth and needs to feel good to run good.
Yeah.
Who rides him? I forget. It's obviously not Frankie.
Yeah, who's going to ride him?
I don't know who. Rosser, no? Rosser riding?
I'm presuming so,
Yeah, Rosser
Yes,
probably riding.
of course, Frankie with his...
Hewitt gets on with that owner though, doesn't he? Didn't he win on that
Chan.
filly of Rafe's?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think they said the other day, I'm pretty sure, I think you're right, I think it is Rosser right.
That's going to be interesting. I'd say who gets the ride then on Kinross. But again, agreement in some parts about these older sprinters. That is obviously the Saturday of Royal Ascot. Do let us know who you fancy in the comment section below. Okay, guys, just to round up, I want to get your 2-year-old you're most looking forward to of the week. Nick.
Okay, so we know there's going to be a ton of Aidan O'Brien 2-year-olds that stand over all their rivals in most of the races. I don't think that's the case in the Queen Mary. So I think the 2-year-old bet of the week is a horse trained by the Coles, who's won at Ascot already, called Miss Rascal. Form needs improving upon, but the sectional time suggests she's very, very good. And she's got course form, and in what is not a vintage Queen Mary, I can see her running a really big race. So Miss Rascal for me in that. Best bet of the week, did you want that as well?
Yes, go for it.
Okay,
please.
Great. I'm going to say Each Way Believing in the King Charles.
Ooh, okay, we'll allow you the each way, but like I say, a nice price and About Believing for your best bet then of the week at this stage. AP, 2-year-old you're most looking forward to?
Whistle Jacket. Got beat first time at the Cur over 6, dropped him back to 5 last time. Very impressive. I think he's a full brother, Little Big Bear. He's Little Big Bear, so I think Whistle Jacket.
He's a
I think
really
in
exciting
Norfolk,
type.
yeah.
Really exciting type.
It's fast.
And then your own best bet of the week?
Probably Opera Singer in the Coronation Cup. I do think Point Lions did run well in the Gold Cup at a big price, but Opera Singer in the
Especially if she gets that vote of confidence from Ballydoyle. Yeah, to be the only one then. Okay, Opera Singer, then it is for the best bet. But Louis, your 2-year-old.
My 2-year-old is Mountain Breeze for Charlie Appleby and William Buick. Love this filly. She's bred to be a mile or 10 furlong horse by Lope de Vega. Got loads of scope to be better next year. I think what she's doing at this stage in her career over 5 and 6 furlongs is very impressive. She runs in the Albany and I think she's got a great chance.
Okay, your best bet then?
My best bet, notable speech.
Yes.
End of story. Nothing more to say. He is, I think, the certainty of the week.
You were keen to get in there then, had the fear that the other two guys...
No disagreement there.
No disagreement.
No disagreement.
We're all good with that.
Well, apart from me, but as long as you guys are in agreement then about notable speech and he's your best bet, then I'm happy to roll with that. Now, my own 2-year-old is Fairy Godmother, not just for the name or the fact she's by Night of Thunder, my absolute favourite sire, but hopefully in the Albany, this is just going to suit her to perfection. I think her intertwining form line with the filly that she's been taking on in her 2 starts so far is very strong form then for those fillies. Of course, it was translated, the form reverse, in a Group 3 contest last time out with Sparkling Sea. Hopefully that will translate to a stiff 6 furlongs in the Albany then for Fairy Godmother. And the nap is going to be White Birch. So I'm pleased that you're all in some agreement with the Prince of Wales' stakes. Hopefully we get to see him run now. I don't think the ground should matter too much for him, and he can uphold the form with August Rodin from last time out. Right, they are our best bets and our 2-year-olds that we are looking forward to at Royal Ascot. Again, as ever, let us know in the comments section not only the 2-year-old that you are most looking forward to throughout the week, but also your nap of the week as well. But a big thank you to the lads for all of their hard work, their input and insights as ever. A big thank you to you at home for watching. Best of luck with your bets at Royal Ascot this week. Well, thank you so much for watching this very special episode of Inside Track, brought to you by William Hill, where we preview Royal Ascot. Best of luck with your bets, but of course, please do remember to gamble responsibly, 18+, and we'll speak to you again very soon.